So hello everyone, good morning. And today I will going to start about OOPS concept, like what is an object-oriented programming in Java. You might have studied OOPS concept in C++. I will going to just revise you what actually this OOPS concept is. So OOPS concept come into the market to just reduce the complexities of the programs. What actually the object is? Object, you might have heard from many people that object is a real-time entity, and actually it is that only. But how we relate this object in the programs? What is this object is? Object you can say like a variable and its value. That object is holding a variable and a value and the different function that operate on a variable. For example, if I say you that you have two variable a and b, and sum is one function, sum is one function that you create on that is called an object. How it is called an object? Because that function sum is an action, you can say, or is an operation that is working on a variable a and b. Okay, for example, as I said you, suppose you have a two variable a and b, and suppose c, and you have written one function in Java, void, you have written one function. Okay, so object actually means what? Object means all the variable and its value and the function that operates on that. So you make a group of that and you save in a memory. So inside the RAM, whenever you create an object in the program, an object is created in the RAM, and that object hold a variable and its value. So ABC is a variable and its value, for example, A is holding 10, B is holding 20, and addition of A and B will assign to C. So this A and B, which is holding a value, will be saved inside the object, and object will be saved in a memory. So what do you mean by this object? Object actually means a variable and its value that are saved in a memory. And what do you mean by this class? Class is a collection of an objects. So inside the class, you class, if I ask you what is a class in a Java, you will, so you can say like it's a collection of variable, function, statement that are operate on it. Statement means what, like printf and other statements, scanner to reader, input, import libraries, right? Those are all as a libraries and call as a classes. Class is a collection of an object of similar type. Similar type, I mean to say that here an object of similar type, I mean to say that they are holding the object of same class, which is having a state and behavior. So state and behavior, in term of theoretical, we say that that object having a state and behavior. For example, if I ask you, if I say a human being is an object, right? Why human being is an object, a real-time entity? Because it is having a state and behavior. What do you mean by state and behavior? That human being can do different behavior or different operation like running, walking, sleeping, right, reading, cycling, learning, and different operation they can do. This is called behavior. And like if I talk about the state, then it's an attribute like how that human being looks, like height, weight, color, right? And these all are called as a state. So similarly, in terms of object oriented programming in in a programming concept, object is a variable, so state and behavior will going to tell in which function they are calling, right? What that variable will going to do. Now the another term is inheritance. Inheritance, from the term you can understand like inherit the properties. Okay, what do you mean by this inheritance? Inheritance means inheriting the property. For example, let me give you one example. Suppose you have a suppose you as a developer, you are working in one company, and suppose you develop window 7. Okay, before that XP was there earlier. XP, then 7, then 8, then 8.1 something, suppose 8.1, then 10, and then 11, right? So now, so how this 11 they came? Now you tell me, like, suppose for developing the same for developing a new operating system, do we create a new operating system from the scratch, or we just uh, add some feature to it? If I ask you that window 11 now has released in the market, right? So do you feel that they have developed that window 11 from the scratch, means they start the code from the scratch, or they have used the concept of window 10 and they have added some feature to it, or they have removed some feature to it? What actually you feels?
Add some features.
Yeah, correct. So here the terms inheritance play a role. Means we never in a means in a company, if we start building the code for every version from the scratch, then it will take a lot of time. So inheritance is a concept. What we do that we inherit this class. Inherit means window 11, they inherit the window 10 class. So what will happen? Window 10, whatever feature window 10 will going to inherit in a window 11 also. Okay, for example, like you means in your family also, you also sometime you suppose you have a two brothers or two sister or like two sibling. One look like a father, one look like a mother, right? So you are inheriting the property. What property? Like you walk like your dad, or you the daughters are like they uh, work like their moms, right? You are inheriting the property. So same thing is applicable here. Inheritance means we do not write the code from the scratch, we just inherit it. Okay, for example, let me give you one example here. So window 8 having, if you have used window 8, then in window 8 tiles were there, tile kind of feature were there, means they are not in the start the tiles was coming in a horizontal ways, right? And all the properties of window 8 was similar to window 7, right? Same as 7 I'm writing. This is a window 8 property. Now if I inherit this window 8 property, and in order to if I inherit this property in a window 10, then what else feature is added in a window 10? In window 10 they convert this tile kind of feature similar to windows 7, because people find it difficulty in using that, so they convert this window 10 to windows 7. Windows 7 kind of startup, like in the bottom you have to search in that way. Okay, next thing what they have, so this thing they have removed tiles kind of feature. They remove tiles kind of screen. Okay, Windows 7 they have added, and screen recording is added in a Windows 10. Like Window G button, if you press it, then automatically screen recording will start. Okay, and many more things are added on that, some drivers and all. So here you are inheriting this. So company, what they do, company never like start the code from the scratch, because if we start the code from the scratch it will take a lot of time, right? And we are just developing the version of the same company, right? So what we do, we inherit the code, we inherit the window 8 code in a window 10, so that I can reuse all the feature of window 8, I can remove it, I can edit, and the code should be public. Window 8 should be public, this code should be public to the company, all the employees of that Microsoft, so that they can use it. It doesn't mean that the code is public means Samsung people they can use their code and they can reuse it. No. And one more thing here, uh, if you have purchased a Nokia smartphone, then many companies, okay, Android is actually the uh, all the company what they do, Android operating system, they customize this Android operating system for their mobile. All the companies, whether it is Samsung or OnePlus or like Motorola or Micromax or any companies, mobile company, what they do, they customize the Android operating system on their requirement. That's the reason when you purchase a mobile online, you might see that application of that uh, Samsung or like OnePlus or Realme or Redmi are there. You need say you only tell like when Android operating system they are available on the mobile, how they will going to by default this application they will going to provide you, right? So company they customize this, company they inherit this, they customize this, they reuse it, the code. So this is the concept of inheritance. Interface is also comes under inheritance only, which is something like how you can implement a class. So there are some limitation of the inheritance, that multiple inheritances we cannot implement. Let me show you the types of inheritance here. Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me rub this. Types of inheritance. Let me show you. So this is the image, right? If you can see here, superclass, subclass. So superclass means the class parent class to which you are inheriting. So if I say this window 8 and this is a window 10, window 8 is a superclass parent class which you are inheriting, and the child class is called as a subclass which is inheriting. So window 10 is your child class subclass. Window 8 is your superclass. Okay, under this is called as a single level inheritance. Okay. Next thing is your that is called your hierarchical inheritance. And multi-level inheritance means when you have more than subclass. For example, this is a window XP, window 8, then window 10. So if you create more hierarchy, it's called multi-level inheritance. Okay, it is like called as a multi-level inheritance. And this is called hierarchical inheritance, where single class inherit into multiple class. For example, this is your grandfather, and he has three children, one daughter, two son, or like two daughter, one son, or maybe anything. So here, this is your parent class, your grandfather, and this is three kids. Okay, that is called hierarchical inheritance. What is the name of this hierarchical inheritance? And this is called multi-level inheritance. This is called single level inheritance. This is called hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance means which is a combination of any one of the two. Okay, and multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance means when you are inheriting the property of two class at the same time. So one thing that I wanted to add here, this multiple inheritance doesn't support in a Java. That's the reason we use interface. To implement that, we use interface. This this thing doesn't support in a Java. This multiple inheritance doesn't support in a Java. So in order to implement this multiple inheritance, where you want to inherit two classes at the same time, that is called as a multiple inheritance, and we use it interface. The term interface that is coined is used to implement multiple inheritance. It is similar to like this is your father, this is your mother, and you are inheriting the property of both. You look like your dad or like your mom, and you walk like a dad, you speak like a dad, or you the daughter are like a mother. So here, why this multiple inheritance they create a problem, because we are inheriting the property from a two class at the same time, so they get overlap sometime. So in order to prevent that, we implement this multiple inheritance not with the similar concept of inheritance, but we use interface to implement this part. Rest thing we can implement, we can work on inheritance. This is your single level inheritance. Single level means only one class you are inheriting. Hierarchical means where single class inherit by three classes at the same time, three or more, and this is called as your multi-level. Multi-level means where single class inherit by more than one class. Okay, like Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. So it will create a hierarchy. Hybrid is a combination of any of the inheritance. So this is a type of inheritance we have. So this is a short description about it, what is inheritance and all. So let's start about the programs. Yes, Sunil, I'm coming into that. Abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, I remember. I will going into that. Let me explain those other topic. This will I will explain you. Let me show you some example on Java, that how we work on that. For example, these two class I have. For example, I wanted to show you. Uh, okay, let's take an example of A, B, and C. So let's take an example here. That here I created one class. Okay, this is my class. This is the name I given D1. You can give any name here. Okay, inside this I created a function. Hope you are aware about like how to create a method in Java, C, C++, or any programming language. You might have created a method in C language also. Method means this is a user defined function that we created to do some operation. This is a user defined function that we created to do some operation. I will going to cover the remaining OOPS concept in my next class because I have to show you example. So this abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism I will cover in the next class. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Sunil. Yes. So here these are the user defined method, and this user defined method is accepting two parameter. What are the two parameter? Character C and int num. Okay. So this method I created, and I'm printing just a casual statement here. Similarly, I created one more function here. You can see the name of a function is also same, void this, but the parameter is different. This is actually comes under polymorphism, but I will explain you tomorrow, so it will be more clear to you with the example. But let me show you what actually the inheritance is. So here this is also going to print one statement, and now D2. Now when you want to inherit this property into the another class and you wanted to reuse this function. Inheritance means what? Reusability. You wanted to reuse the code instead of rewriting the code from a scratch. You wanted to reuse the code. So how you're going to do that? You will going to create a new class and you will going to extend it. The term extend keyword we use in inheritance to inherit the property. So here I'm inheriting this class D1. Now this inheritance will be called as which inheritance? Single level inheritance. Why? Because here you are inheriting only one class, right? So here extend D1, it means that D2 is inheriting the property of D1. And this is a function. Public static void main is your main function. So now you wanted to access the element of a class. So how you going to do? You have to create an object. And how you create an object? Object creation syntax is class name, object name, new keyword, and again class name. So class name, which class name you will going to use here? The class name where the main method are there. Obviously, because when you are going to inherit it, so D2 will have a access to all the element of a D1. Whatever you have declared here in D1, they will directly inherit in a D2 and access by the D2 also. So how you create an object of the class? Object, why do we create it? To instantiate your function, to call the function. Okay. So here D2 is your class. For that D2 class, this is an object and new D2. Okay. So what is syntax? Class name, object name, you can give anything. It's a user defined. New, again class name. Okay. And once you create an object here, you will going to call the function. How you call the function in C language? In C language, you were just calling it by just calling the name of a function. But in Java, you have to call it with the help of an object because object will going to make this active. That is a more appropriate term if I say instantiation. Object will going to instantiate the object means object will going to instantiate the function means they will going to provide this parameter. You can see x and 51 is a parameter of this function. So x is character and 51, right? Similarly, if I talk about 52 and y, then this one is your function, right? So this way you will going to run this. Now in order to run the program, how you're going to run, just click on that program where you have a main function and just run on this. So you can see you are getting the output. I'm the first definition of method this. I'm the second definition of method this, right? This is written is here, right? So this is the way of running the program. Okay, similarly, here also I created three classes. This is a multi-level inheritance. Here I create one class, public class A. You can, if you want, you can remove it also. Class A. Here I declare one variable. Okay. Now here I create one method set x. Set x is my user defined method. To this method, I am passing one parameter A. And this parameter A, whatever the user will going to pass while instantiating through the object, will going to assign to the x variable. Now, if I ask you, what is the difference between this x variable and this x variable? Can you tell me like what is the difference here? This x variable is local variable, which whose existence is within this curly braces only. This is your local variable. Whenever you declare any variable outside a function, that will be your global variable that can be accessed to the whole program. But the variable that is declared inside the function will be local and their existence within this curly brace only. If you want to access this element x out of this curly braces, you will get an error. Why? Because it existence is within this curly brace only. It is a local variable. Okay, so I created one class b. Here I am calling this function set x. Set x function defined in which class? My a class. Okay, here I define this set x and I'm calling this function and I'm passing a parameter 2. So this function, the flow will go to this as this function has inherited the class a. So you can call this function because you have inherited the class a. So you have a right to run this function because you have inherited. So all the class, all the function variable now available in your class also. So this set x, when you pass this 2, it will going to assign to this x because here a value is now what? 2. This 2 will be assigned to x. Okay. And it will going to return the value of x2. Now I created one more class C and I inherited this b. Now in this what I did, I created a main method. I create an object of both the class A and B. You can create an object of any class. Either you can create object of C, you can create object of A and B. Only remember that whichever object you are creating, you have to call that variable or function of that class with that variable only. Like here, I created A and this is my object of this A class and I'm calling that with the help of A only. Similarly, I'm calling b dot get b. Get b is where is the function get b? You can see here, right? Get b is one function which is calling setters function, right? So get b function is in which class? B. So I created an object of b class and I'm calling it. So let me run this and show you. It is an example of multi-level inheritance where we inherit A to B, B to C, right? Three class they were present here. So this is an example of multi-level inheritance. So you can see when I call a dot x. So a dot x means which x will be going to run class A x. So it will going to print 1. You can see when you call this with an object a dot x, it print. Similarly, if you see B, sim other class C, B class object B, B dot get B. So here you are calling this get B function. This get B function internally calling set x and passing 2. So it will going to return 2. Set x function you can see here, this one, and passing 2 will going to assign to this x and will going to return 2 inside the memory. So in this way inheritance works. Similarly, you can try it for other also. Inheritance, the interface, how will going to interface we implement it. Let me show you the interface example in order to implement multiple inheritance.